Hey guys, so today I am still in a mixed episode. So I thought I would just talk about PTSD. So, for those of you who don't know what PTSD, it's post traumatic stress disorder. It's a disorder in which a person has difficulty recovering after experiencing or witnessing a terrifying event or traumatic event, whatever. Um, More people suffer from PTSD than you might think. And I just wanted to talk about some of the symptoms of PTSD because, as a person who suffers from bipolar disorder, type 1, along with complex PTSD, it's really hard to decipher which symptoms come from which disorder because they both have so many symptoms that are similar. So, the first and biggest symptom of PTSD is having flashbacks or nightmares of the event. And I actually, I don't suffer from all of these symptoms, but I do suffer from this one in particular. Um, and those nightmares can also cause another symptom, which is insomnia. And that could be because you're thinking about the traumatic event as you're trying to fall asleep and it keeps you from falling asleep, or you have the knowledge of the fact that you're going to have nightmares of the event and you don't want to, so that also could keep you awake. And your doctor can prescribe you something to help you sleep, and there are so many things that you can do. You can meditate, you can take a relaxing bath before bedtime, do whatever you have to do to try to make yourself fall asleep. But insomnia is a big symptom of PTSD. The flashbacks can happen anytime, doing anything, and you randomly will just stop what you're doing and just have a flashback of whatever you went through. Since I have complex PTSD, that means there are several things that have happened to me in my life that have caused me to have PTSD. And so when I have flashbacks or nightmares, it's not always like one recurring traumatic event. It's many different events that have happened to me. And sometimes I have nightmares where all of those events or several of those events are combined into one nightmare. And that's the worst. And I'm sorry if you have to go through that because I do. And it fucking sucks. Another symptom of PTSD is avoiding situations or people or songs or places that bring back the memory of that traumatic event. And that's also something that I deal with. And it's just really rough. That symptom really sucks because it limits you from doing certain things. And you could be listening to the radio and then a song comes on the radio, and it could be a song that was playing during whatever happened, or it could be a song that relates to whatever happened, and your mood just instantly starts going downhill. And depressed mood is another symptom of PTSD, and it could be triggered by something, or it could just happen out of nowhere because you have PTSD. There's really nothing you can do about it whenever that happens. Like, as soon as you hear that song, all you can do is try to shut it off. Or if there was a movie that was playing during that time and someone brings up the title of it, like for me, there's a show, whenever somebody says the title or I pass it on Netflix, I just instantly, my mood starts going down and I can't do anything but think about the traumatic event, which fucking sucks. Another huge symptom of PTSD is severe anxiety, and not just like regular mild anxiety, like severe, like extremely severe anxiety, and also social anxiety. This is something that I suffer with myself. I am very limited on what I can do by myself. I send my husband to the grocery store because I can't go. There's too many people. I can't go. I can't go to concerts. I don't go to bars. I don't go bowling. I don't ice skate. Like, none of that stuff. I can't do things that have a lot of people around because I just have social anxiety. Like I can't even, trying to explain social anxiety to somebody who doesn't have it is like, I don't know, I can't even compare it to anything. It's so hard to describe what it's like. It's awful. Another symptom is mistrust or detaching yourself from other people. And that could be because, you don't want people knowing what you have. You don't want them knowing that you could react in a certain way over certain situations, and you could not trust people because of the things that you've been through. You trusted those people, and something traumatic happened, and now it's really hard for you to trust anybody else. So, for example, if you've been cheated on by every single person you've ever been with, and then you get into a new relationship, you're probably going to be really insecure, and you're probably going to be paranoid and always accusing them of cheating on you. And I'm sorry, but you can't help it. It's just the way that it is, because you suffer from PTSD, and it sucks. And by detaching from others because you don't want them to see how you're going to react to certain situations, that's another symptom, which is heightened reactions. If you have PTSD, you're going to react to things a lot differently than other people, or maybe try to react in the same manner, but it's like multiplied and it's intensified because you have PTSD. So if one person gets angry about something, you may get angry as well, but you're going to be like fucking furious and want to punch a wall kind of angry. That's what I mean by heightened reactions. You're just going to react to things a lot more intensely than anybody else would who doesn't have PTSD. Another symptom is lack of motivation or lack of interest in things that you normally like doing. For example, I am an artist. I love painting, and sometimes I'm just not interested in it. It sounds boring, or I just feel like I can't do it, and it sucks because I really do love doing it, but some days I'm just completely uninterested in doing it. Another symptom is irritability, or being angered easily. The smallest thing can piss you off, and you can just be irritable constantly all the time. And some days it doesn't affect you, but most days it does. And that's something that I deal with. But also, being bipolar, a lot of these symptoms are similar. The irritability, the lack of motivation and interest in things, the heightened reactions, like those three particularly are exactly the same with bipolar disorder. So it's hard to decipher which disability I get those symptoms from, but it's definitely from PTSD. Like if you suffer from PTSD and you're constantly irritated and you get angry super easily over the smallest things, it's because of your PTSD. Another symptom is memory loss. You may have forgotten, made yourself forget about the traumatic event, or forget certain details about the traumatic event, or it could affect you so much that you can't even remember simple things like what you had for dinner last night, or how many hours you worked yesterday, or just simple things. It affects your memory loss, and there's a science behind it, and I'm not going to go into it because I don't entirely know about it, but that sucks. I wouldn't say it's as bad as like forgetting your name or forgetting where you live, but just simple little things in life that any normal person would remember, you just can't. Another symptom is feeling guilty, feeling shame, or feeling alone, like loneliness. And that could be, because it was something that you did that was awful, and later in life you go think about it, and whenever you think about it you feel so guilty and you feel so ashamed. I have a couple things that I've done that have caused me PTSD, and I feel extremely guilty and ashamed, and I have nightmares about them, and whenever I think about it during the day, like it makes my skin crawl because I just can't believe that I would do something like that. And then feeling lonely, obviously you're pushing people away, you're detaching from others, you don't want to make new friends because you don't want them to know about everything that you're going through, so of course you're going to feel lonely. And another one is exaggerated negative beliefs. If you have a very low self-esteem and you always think that you're just an awful person or you're bad or whatever, that is an exaggerated negative belief. Or another negative belief would be like, nobody on the whole entire fucking planet can be trusted. That is an exaggerated negative belief, because not every single person is dishonest and disloyal, obviously. And the last symptom I'm going to talk about is trouble concentrating. Now, this is something that I suffer from. I feel like I may have some kind of learning disability because of my PTSD, because I cannot learn about new things if I'm not interested in them. And I can't trouble concentrating, like I can't stay focused on one thing, and whenever I'm into something I can't concentrate all of my energy into it. It's just too hard. Like I said, a lot of these symptoms are similar with bipolar disorder. So if you have bipolar disorder and PTSD, it's really hard to decipher which symptoms you're experiencing from which disability. But yeah, those are some of the symptoms. That's not all of them. The list goes on and on and on. But just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And if you have PTSD and you experience these symptoms, you're not alone. And yeah, that's that.